All right, so here we are, a new episode of Less Kevin, More Tech from UTEC IT. We've got a phenomenal guest today and a lot of fun. Matt Stepnes, who is the tournament director of
the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren.
Yeah, and also well-known, well-renowned baseball coach for youngsters in the Rochester Hills area. So, Matt, let's start out with how we met.
Well, you hit it on the head. Les, we met in baseball.
Yeah.
I think I'm coming up on 10 years in Michigan, living here in Rochester Hills, and I'm pretty sure we met about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, with our sons Aiden and Jack.
Yeah. So we're at a trying to find a place to practice, right? And of course it's spring, and we're overamped dads, and we're out there with these little plastic snow shovels. We were clearing snow on a gravel field, at a little private school. You got a bunch of kids running around going like, "What the hell are we doing here?" But that's how we met, and it's been a great relationship, great friendship, and our kids are doing well, and it's just fantastic. But it's a great story. And then, so how did you and Kevin meet? Now, this is interesting because I'm talking to Kevin, about a year ago, I would say, and he goes, "Yeah, Matt, yeah, he's the best first base coach out there."
Kevin and I'm trying to remember exactly. I mean, I think we were connected through a mutual contact, or maybe I just cold called you.
Yeah, I think Rob Kroll maybe might have introduced us, but it was through Rocket Mortgage, the classic down there in Detroit when that was, I think, your first assignment I knew you of. And
absolutely.
We got to start working with him, and I laugh because, we were small, we were small potatoes, right? So we had a small little piece that we were doing with the Rocket Mortgage and, providing technology for the tournament for them. And then we had some hospitality and played in a pro-am. But as far as a dollar spend, we were small potatoes compared to some of the other guys out there. But I was really impressed because I was expected to be treated like that. And, the thing that always impressed me about Matt was he treated us like we were, Arthur Anderson or one of the big sponsors out there, you know what I mean, of the tournament. He made us feel first class and took care of everything we needed out there.
Well, that's nice of you to say, Kevin, but in full transparency, I think the reason why I treated you that way was because you invited me to your March Madness party. And I was so impressed with that party, and I had such a good time. I'm like, I need to stay friends with this guy so I can come back to the March Madness party the next year.
Well, yeah, I know you came out and you gave some freebies to the folks and helped make it an enjoyable event. I liked it. And, Leslie, the connection personally right outside of our professional lives. Well, Matt and I have one too as we started discussing more. I had a fraternity brother out there, Kip McBride, and lo and behold, Matt tells me that Kip works for him. You know what I mean? He gets coffee and makes photocopies on our equipment for the tournaments up there, and just kind of his errand boy. But I'm glad to see that Kip is doing all right. He's taking that Capital University degree, and you're putting him to good use work.
Yeah, you did call him errand boy, right?
No, not well. Kip McBride oversees all our operations in our tournament. So
don't backtrack now because we're on video.
Yeah,
here.
well, you said you had him in the palm of your hand. He'd do whatever you told him.
Last year, funny story. So,
we need to bail him out here.
Yeah, no, Kip is a very busy man. In full honesty, he came into our tournament to help with we run a concert on Saturday during our tournament, and he came in on Saturday morning, the day of the concert, and I expected him to stay Sunday, but he just left right after the concert. He was gone. He's kind of in and out. He's like a secret He's like a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get you out here today because, as I said, we started with the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and you know, it's a wonderful event down there in Detroit, and it's you know, you did a wonderful job down there, and I think it was a testament to how well you treated us and other sponsors and partners from the tournament that you got this opportunity. Tell us about the opportunity at the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of, you know, if you're a golf fan from Michigan, a lot of people remember there was a PGA Tour event for over 50 years at Warwick Hills called the Buick Open, and you know, during the economy crash back in 2009 was the last time the Buick Open was there, and so, you know, professional golf wasn't at Warwick for 9 years, and then 2018. A PGA Tour Champions event was put together and brought back to Warwick, and so we're heading into our 5th year. And you know, it's the history of the course and professional golf in Michigan is fantastic. So it was kind of you know, there was a 9 or 10 year period where we didn't have that, and to have it back. And then you mentioned the Rocket Mortgage Classic. There's three LPGA events. So professional golf in Michigan is incredibly strong. And you know, 5-6 years ago, we didn't have you know, I think there was 1 or 2 LPGA events, which I know, Kevin, you were involved with one over on this side of the state. But to have you know, both the PGA Tour and Champions Tour back in Southeast Michigan is tremendous.
Well, yeah, because we had a history of some great events there, and then we kind of hit a lull there for a little bit, and it kind of went away, and now we're blessed. You know, we've got the PGA Tour, the Senior Tour, and LPGA, and the Ally Challenges. I mean, this is phenomenal that's back at such a great course up there at Warwick Hills, and it's a great area, and I know the demographics of the area supports it. It's a lot of great golf courses up there, great golfing community, and it's good to have back.
Absolutely. And it's such a neat fit for the you know, the guys 50 and older on the PGA Tour Champions, because most of them played at the old, you know, Buick Open back in the day, and they just love the course, and some of them still stay with some of the members, and you know, a lot of our volunteers are still around, and so they love coming back every year.
Well, that's what's kind of neat about this too, is that you watch the PGA Tour, and I don't think anybody can really, guys like us can't associate with that. You got all these young 20-something flat bellies that are hitting the ball 400 yards, and so it's kind of neat to see the guys we grew up watching on TV, you know, out there, and you get a chance to play with them and walk by them, and they're still hitting the ball a long way, but it's almost a completely different golf game, isn't it? But it's fun to see what they're doing.
Absolutely. And just a kind of a neat side fact here. I don't know if you saw who's leading the first round of the Sony Open in Hawaii this week, but it's Jim Ferrick. 51, 52. Jim played in his inaugural PGA Tour Champions event was 2020 at Warwick Hills, and he won it right off the bat. So, and he's actually leading the PGA Tour.
You're telling me he had a tournament?
He's playing on the regular tour this week, and
he won
leading.
it. So he named it inaugural tour, and he won it.
Well, his inaugural
sounds a little fishy to me.
His inaugural appearance on the PGA Tour
Okay.
Champions, right when he turned 50 years old,
Got it.
was 2020 at Warwick Hills, and he walked off with the W. But I mean, to Kevin's point though, like these guys, I think in all athletics these days, people are staying in shape. Like, you know, 50 is the new 40.
And
like really,
we keep counting ourselves out.
Well, yeah, Matt says it because he had an anniversary this year recently, and it was his 50th.
Well, 49. I got 10 months to go. Don't age me.
No.
Jeez.
You started your 50th
Well,
year,
I started.
so.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be a birthday versus an anniversary, wouldn't it?
Right.
Somebody got into our bourbon too early here, you know. And we got to preface it with the golf here. We for any listeners out there, we need to, you know. Les once took a golf lesson. He said, "What can I do to get better?" And what can I do to improve my game? And the guy said, "Buy a bowling ball." So
yes,
that's what Les did. But so
or
any
a
golf,
pickleball paddle.
yeah. Any golf references that seem out of left field, it's that from our golf friend over there. But no, it really is a great event to come out and see these guys, because they still are in remarkable shape. Their game is at the top of the level, and we jokingly say about the young guys hitting the ball so far, But these guys have the complete game, right? It's a long game, short game. You know, they know how to work a course. They know mentally how they're tough. And, you know, Phil's on the tour now, right? The senior tour and playing on the PGA tour. There's still a lot of crossover with our fan favorites playing there. And these guys are still winning on the PGA and then coming over and the next week playing in the Champions Tour and winning over there.
Well, the common theme with the guys on the PGA Tour Champions is I have the best job in the world, and they're sincere when they say that, because, you know, most of them had a pretty successful career, you know, growing up playing on the regular PGA Tour. But regardless of what they did prior, if you have status on the PGA Tour Champions, there's no cut. You know, it's a 3-round event, and you're 50 or older, and you get to travel and hang with your family and still be competitive. And the competition just keeps getting better and better. I mean, Bernhard Langer turned 64 years old during our first round last year, and he shot 64 on Friday. He missed an 8-footer. I was watching on 18. He missed an 8-footer for 63. I said, "You missed that on purpose, didn't you?" And Bernhard's a very sincere. He's one of the hardest workers out there, but he just like, no, I wanted to shoot 63. But I mean, and he took second place by 1 stroke. But it just shows you that. The level of competition is fantastic, and the guys are so engaging too. Mm-hmm. You know, it's an awesome event, and to your point, we've you know, at the end of the day, it's all about giving back to the community, and Genesee County is the focus, all of Southeast Michigan. But you know, last year we worked with the United Way of Genesee County as our primary beneficiary, and you know, they were the primary recipient of over $1.3 million. And at the end of the day, that's why, and through the support of, you know, partners like UTEC and anybody who supports our event, is all the proceeds go back to the community, which, you know, at the end of the day is why we do this. So.
Well, that's what's impressed me, you know, with the Allied Challenge presented by McLaren. It's a first-class event, and it's an attitude that you see that you don't always see at some of the other events. I mean, the young guys are grinding, right? They're trying to make their way, and there's an edge to that. But here you got guys that have been at the top of the mountain, still competing to be at the top of the mountain there. But they just like us, as you get older, you get a little softer. You know, you realize there's more to life, and they're all about making experiences out there for a fan. If I'm out walking with my kid, you know, they'll say hi to the kid. You know, they'll take time to sign an autograph and chat somebody up. And I think that's really what's kind of neat about the event, is that it feels like it's a fun event. It's 3 days, but and it's serious golf. I mean, the competition's off the charts up there. But they take time, and as a sponsor, you know, that they'll work with you as a partner. They'll work with you to make sure that you make your customers feel like a champion out there. That I think it's just neat. I mean, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing that comes to mind is, so in my role, my first year as hosting a tournament was 2020 during, you know, in the midst of the pandemic, and we were very fortunate to host a tournament. We couldn't have any fans, but we were able to host a Pro-Am, and we were actually the first PGA Tour Champions event back after the pandemic in almost 3 months. Mm-hmm. I think the regular tour had been back for 8 weeks, but you know, so we had to shift, and we had a Pro-Am, and we had to do some virtual events. And Peter Jacobson was one of our sponsor exemptions, and he came in, and you know, he just kind of pulled me aside, and he was playing in the Pro-Am, and I asked him if, you know, I'm like, can you know, play with one of our lead, you know, sponsors here in the Pro-Am? It'd be important, it'd mean a lot to us if you could tee off a little early and play on such and such date. And he's like, I'll do anything you want. And he was dead serious. He's like, the Pro-Am is more important than the actual tournament, because it's these are the folks who are funding our event, and this is the reason we're able to play. So you know, and that's the theme across the board. And you know, the PGA Tour guys, they get that as well, but they're, to your point, they're a little younger, and they're just trying to make a living and keep their status, and you know, get sponsorships and so forth, which is important for them, and build their career, which most of the PGA Tour Champions guys did. But once you do that, and then you're lucky enough to have status on the PGA Tour Champions, you kind of look back and realize that what got you to this point. And that's why it's really cool to work with these guys, and they have a full understanding of what it takes.
Yeah, I mean, I think both are great experiences. I'm not trying to say one's better than the other.
No,
but
no.
I think it's important
They're
that
both good.
there's
They're
a
just
different. Yeah, and it's neat to see. Give us because the Pro-Am event is a great way if somebody wanted to get involved to market, because you can't go play with the Detroit Lions. You can't go play with with the Las Vegas Raiders, or you can't go play baseball with the Tigers, or NBA basketball. But with golf, you guys present a unique opportunity for average Joes like Les and I to go out there and play and compete with the pros in these Pro-Am events, right?
On the same field of competition, a day or two. We're fortunate to have two days of Pro-Ams, being a 3-day event. But yeah, on the field of competition, the day prior to them playing. So it's a bucket list opportunity. It's kind of a sales line, but I full sincerity, if you're a golf fan, I mean, it's a bucket list opportunity to be able to play with these guys on the field of competition the day before they're teeing it up for real. And and it's from a business standpoint too, it's fantastic, because the pairings party, which where you find out who your professional is you're playing with, is for us, it's held on Tuesday night, and there's 700 or 800 people in attendance there, and from a networking standpoint, it's just fantastic. And being able to meet these pros, and a lot of these it's really unique in the fact that I mentioned how professional golf was at Warwick Hills for a long time prior to us. A lot of the folks who played in the Pro-Am back in those days still keep in touch with the professionals they played with 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. So these guys will come to town and connect.
Sleep
with
on the couch.
And yeah, exactly, exactly. So
hey Matt, so you've got a lot of experience with PGA. Even prior. To this event, what is some of your what's the best story, if you could search back over the years? What's a good story, a good PGA story that you could share?
But not all those are fit to be shared.
Well, there's some out there.
Yeah. No, that's a good question, and I don't know. My mind goes immediately back to Jim Ferrick and baseball, quite frankly, because that's how we met, Les, and that's how I met Jim. So I was in Ponte Vedra for 8 years prior to moving to Michigan.
That's in Florida, right?
In Florida, Ponte Vedra Beach. That's where the PGA Tour is headquartered. Yeah. And I was coaching Jim Ferrick's son when he was 8 and 9 years old with my son, and so we met in baseball, and then to bring it full circle, as I mentioned earlier, he comes back and makes his PGA Tour Champions debut at our event in Michigan and wins it. And I hadn't had a chance to say hi to him prior to that, but on the putting green, we're doing the ceremony. I said, our sons played baseball together. He's like, absolutely, I remember that. So sports.
Sports. It kind of all evolves. But did you coach first base down in Florida?
I think I did, yeah. Maybe a little third as well.
Yeah.
But
really?
I kind of settled into first base.
Yeah. He's real good at it, by the way.
Well, it's funny. We're talking golf here, and we're talking baseball, but the guy's a hockey star too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Still plays.
I keep the skate sharp, but as I tell everyone, being born and raised in Minnesota, you don't really have much choice but you kind of have to play hockey.
Yeah.
And
tell everybody where you were last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
I was trying to stay warm in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at Target Field for the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
It was hosted with the Minnesota Wild. I think when the puck dropped, it was -7, 25 below wind chill. You had to drink your beer within like 2.5 minutes because it literally froze. But it was a good game.
That's slower than normal for you, though,
isn't it? Why are you slowing down?
Exactly.
I saw some of those pictures that you had put up. They were fantastic.
I had 3 layers on, and warmers in the gloves and boots, and but it was a cool experience without a doubt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, give somebody that's not familiar with the tournament, walk us through a quick layout, what a day will be, because there's opportunities that you can certainly participate by playing in a Pro-Am. You can certainly participate by there's hospitality events there are phenomenal, right? And maybe talk about some of that as they line up with the days. But, just going out and just grabbing your family and taking your family up there for a Sunday afternoon is a great way to spend the day at the course. But talk about some of the sponsorship opportunities we may have and then give us a layout. I know there's a concert. Walk us through all the good stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with all the opportunities, I think maybe I'll start off with just being a volunteer in different capacities throughout the week. You might spend a couple hours out there, or you might be out there every day for 11 hours, but we have upwards of 800 volunteers. And without that volunteer support, we can't put on our tournament.
Right.
And it's just, it's a fantastic way to give back and meet a bunch of folks and have a good time. So our volunteer, opportunities will open up in the coming weeks here at allychallenge.com. So you're welcome to, anyone and everyone's welcome to participate there. But
and you don't have to be a golfer to volunteer. You just be a part of the event, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a number of different capacities you can, work in and have a good time, and help support the event. So that's super important. But tournament week itself is fantastic. There's practice rounds during the week. The pro-am is our pro-am is Wednesday and Thursday. The competition starts on Friday, and Friday's a great night. You mentioned families, and Friday evening we do family fun night. So at 4:00 we shut off ticket sales and parking, so you can bring your family out, no charge, watch the end of golf, and we do a bunch of activities in the evening where we do programming for the kids with some free pizza and some free ice cream, and we'll get a couple players out there to speak to them and so forth. So
I know that's been a big hit. I mean,
yeah,
like you said, for the kids to get out there, and it's a great way for dads and moms to get their sons and daughters introduced to golf too, right?
Absolutely, without a doubt. So that's a fun day. And then Saturdays traditionally are kind of our biggest day for a number of reasons. That one, we do a celebrity shootout. And that is basically a 9-hole exhibition that takes place, as soon as the last group goes through the 10th hole. We have 4 celebrities that play 9 holes, and the fans love it. Last year we had Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, Jeff Blashill with the Red Wings, and Tom Izzo with Michigan State, and they just have a good time and go out and entertain everybody. And then there's a community concert in on the driving range. So you come out and enjoy a full day, and we're still soon to be announced a big act, but
you're not going to give us a scoop?
Well, if there was a scoop, I'd give it to you, Les. You'll be the first person I call. But
if you're struggling to find somebody
that listen to his vocal quality, I'll get out there.
The Les Kevin,
yeah, right.
More Tech UTEC IT podcast is always available, right?
You know what? We could probably arrange something if they give us your agent's name and number, and we'll have our agent call them.
Absolutely.
But all seriously, we got a big concert coming that night on Saturday night, and then we lead into what, Sunday?
Sunday is the final round, and it's a great day. Sunday, we started a new tradition last year, which will 100% bring back the this year. We're in 2022, right? We do a free pancake breakfast to kick off the day. So, all you need
built for that.
Yeah. And families can, come out and enjoy that breakfast, and and lead into the final round of competition.
Okay. So tell us more. You got my free pancake. You got me, man. The radar went right up on that. Tell us real quickly, what's that about?
Yeah, it's something that HNS Sports Group, my employer, did it at another tournament in Ohio, and we decided to try it out last year, and it was just a giant hit. So it just, we set up a couple tents right near the clubhouse, and all you need is a ticket to the day, and you come out, and they'll actually throw your pancakes to you. They cook them right on the grill. They've got this giant setup with bacon and sausage, and the pancakes, they'll flip them right on your plate, and you catch them, and it's a fantastic.
Wow. Again, so all my KSU brothers from Capital University that want to come see Kit McBride working, we can come up Sunday and see him flipping pancakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect.
Absolutely.
We're there.
Yeah, Matt'll make sure he does it.
What else should we know? We said that. Tell us about hospitality real quickly. What we can do if we want to if we want to get involved in that, as somebody out there wants to spend some money and bring some clients up.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place to entertain clients. I mean, you're outside. You've got good food and beverage and so forth, and the opportunities range anywhere from just general grounds admission, which is which is a minimal, spend. And if you want to entertain your clients, you can, anywhere from 2 people up to 50, and anywhere in between. You can entertain with, our 17th hole is kind of our signature hole. Back in the day, I tell people, and it's true. Golf fans anyway are familiar with the Phoenix Open and their 16th hole you watch on TV, and they've got the, stadium style kind of built in, but. 17 at Warwick Hills back in the day was actually the original kind of party hole, and we're we'd like to say we've kind of brought that back,
revitalizing
revitalizing it, and so whether you're on 17 or 18, we're actually building some new cabanas on 16, which is a par 5, and this year, and so it's just a unique opportunity to host. Family, friends, but from a business perspective too, you can have kind of a shared space or your own private space. But even the so-called private spaces, you typically share some food and beverage in a common area. So from a networking and business standpoint, it's a fantastic place to entertain.
Well, that's what I think is important, because people don't always realize that you don't need to get a suite of 30 or 50 people in there. All businesses can afford to do this, and you could just get a series of 4, and you'd feel just like that big suite of 30 or 50 people there with with the food and a drink and the hospitality and all that. But you get a chance to network too. But you don't have to. It's not break the bank marketing budget money. It's a nice afternoon out or a full week of bringing out 12 clients, and
you know what else I like about Grand Blanc is a beautiful city. It's a wonderful community and easy access.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're, Detroit area, or even if you're in Saginaw, coming down from northern Michigan, it's right off I-75. So, I mean, there's a lot going for it. Yeah.
And just to jump back to its history too, I mean, once you show up on site and experience it for the first time, it's a lot of people, have been to the tournament back in the day, but my favorite part is when people come for the first time, because there's just an energy in the, the support from the volunteers or the police department. The community just really comes together because they understand that it's the biggest event of the year in Genesee County, and they realize the impact that it makes back into the community, and it's kind of a celebration. But you're right, it's a fantastic place and centrally located, and
easy to get.
Before we wrap up here, I'm just kicking myself that we haven't even said when the event is. It's a great time of the year, right? When do we come to this wonderful event? Is it next week or is it later in the summer?
Yeah, no, it's the end of August. So August 26th to 28th. So right before school kicks off, and I believe last year, I'm sure it'll be this year, it's opening weekend of high school football, so those are our dates this year, end of August this year.
Okay, so Ally Challenge presented by McLaren, August 26th through the 29th?
28th, yep. 26th to 28th, yep.
That's awesome.
Good.
Tournament Director Matt Stepnes.
Tournament Director Matt Stepnes, and we'll have all the information here on after the show. You can see it and get it, and please reach out to him. It's I can tell you that they're first class, and Matt will make sure you have a great time up there, and all the folks at H&S and the Ally Challenge.
Yeah, and if you join us, you can hang out with Kevin and Les, too.
Whoa!
Oh, we don't want to take away from that.
Now all right, big time.
Well, before we go, as a traditional sign-off, until we get the bourbon sponsor for the
still trying to find one
here, we're working on it. But the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren. Hey, thank you, Matt. What's your flavor? What flavor do you like? If you get a chance to grab a bourbon out of Les's shelf, what do you reach for?
I'm going for the Woodford.
Woodford?
Yeah.
Good choice.
Got a new bottle for us, man.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.